Namaskar. Welcome to Face Show Mujit. Another Wednesday, 7 p.m. We are with a change maker of the city, Abhishek Ganguly. He is known by his own name. He is having 2 decades experience in the creative field, also in the show business and entertainment. He is associated with feature filmmaking, advertisement filmmaking, travel filmmaking, premium filmmaking, and so many other filmmaking. But today we will be having a chat show with Abhishek Ganguly, and we will know a special thing, that is cinema for a cause. What is cinema for a cause? You have to wait for another 60 minutes to know and have to have a total idea what is cinema for a cause. Let's start, Abhishek, with our first
Okay.
question. I think in this very winter evening, you'll be enjoying face to face show Mujit show. And you may be aware that we started this show in the last part of November. And every Wednesday at 7 p.m., we are with a change maker. So, obviously, my first question will be for you, Abhishek, that how you got influenced in filmmaking, and that too in independent filmmaking.
Thank you so much, Shomojit, and heartiest congratulations to Face with Shomojit. It really is, having rave reviews from all over the world. Uh, See, I was in front of the camera at the beginning of my career when I was in college and just after passing out from school. I used to do a lot of modeling. I used to act in Bengali films, Bengali serials. But those were the days when, the actors never got paid in the real sense. It was more of a hobby. So my father once asked me that, will you be carrying on your career without payments? My father was a very eminent human resource development trainer. So he used to run his own organization called the Learning Club. So when he asked me, then I also didn't have a very good answer for him because we really didn't get paid that well. So in that case, he said that there were a few film offers which were coming to him, films on management, films on training. So whether I could team up with him and do something. So Learning System, which is my company now, was previously a part of Learning Club. So it was Learning Club's film division, where my father, as a top management consultant and HR consultant, used to go and do a lot of corporate training, and they used to have the need for corporate films, training films, films on different industrial applications. So that's how Learning System was born. So I, went from in front of the camera back to the camera, at the back end of the camera, and started writing scripts. My father used to do the voiceovers at that time. He's got a very good voice too, and he, as a management and HR expert, obviously we could handle any kind of technical or corporate kind of scripts. So that's how Learning System was born. And in 1995, I became independent. 1995 onwards, the journey of Learning System started. So we were very busy doing a lot of corporate films, ads. I used to do a lot of ads at that time, TVCs, then a lot of event coverages with multi camera. So I was getting slowly, kind of grounded in this audiovisual world. But what was happening was, like I was not getting my creative thirst quenched. Like a creative man has his own dreams, own visions. So that was not really getting quenched. And like, to do that, I thought that I must do something which is independent. By independent, I mean I will not be under the dictates of my clients. I will not be dictated by someone that I need my film to be like this. I can make my film as I want. So that's how
Right.
I thought of a platform and cinema for a cause, because I am a person who's always societally motivated. Maybe my, like 3 years when I spent with Ramakrishna Mission Narendrapur, I got that kind of a ethos in me that I have to do something for the society. Whatever we
Right.
do today, wherever we are today, it's all for the society, and it's your own social responsibility to give something back to the society. And I
Right.
used my skills, my strengths to do something for the society by filmmaking, by infotainment, doing some, churning out some quality content. That's how
Right. Right.
Cinema for a Cause was born and the independent
Exactly.
filmmaking journey started.
Right, exactly. So itself, I truly appreciate that you mentioned this concept of giving. You want to give something
Correct,
back to the society.
correct,
How many
correct.
people think about all these things? It's really rare in this today's world. But you have referred something creative, voice, and truly it reminds me that there are several types of voices, and so somebody is fascinated by your baritone voice also. But I have learned something from this voice category: bass, baritone, tenor, alto, mezzo soprano, and soprano. So, would you like to say something about these voice categories and other things? Whether this gives enough indication that how you can place yourself into this world of creative world of voice world?
Voiceovers I do regularly, but like these are the different characteristics of voice which you were talking about. See, I'm totally a naturally groomed person. I have not taken any training in voiceovers. As I was an actor, I know how to modulate. As I did a lot of acting, I know exactly how to express my thoughts, express my feelings, and the body language and the voice responds to it. I am naturally gifted with a baritone. It's kind of genetic. Voice is very much genetic. So my voice comes from my father. My father's voice comes from his mother, and we have a family which is all who all have quite good voices. So the genetic endowment has resulted in the baritone. Now, voice is a very important part of your persona, the personality, because if you have a very assertive, confident, clear, distinct voice, you make your communication more impact worthy. So all these tenor, treble, bass, the baritone which you have spoken about are all compositions which make a very definite and a distinct voice, which helped in my case. And I started, like offering my services as a voiceover artist also. And I got quite busy because in Kolkata there are very few who can handle English and Bengali parallelly. So I had that advantage. My schooling in Narendrapur gave me good roots in Bengali language, and my final grooming in Lamatiniya for boys gave me the polish of English. So I could,
Right,
have a combo of both, and I could cater to
right.
both kinds of clients.
We will come to all these details afterwards also. So, see, you told that it's cinema for cause, and it obviously goes with a change making approach. So, how do you think yourself as a change maker, successful change maker?
The mission is, like I never think about the change making. It's an automatic process. Each film ultimately carries a very strong social message or a very inspiring story. The social message of environment, the social message of mental health, the social message of history, heritage, the social message of unsung heroes, their stories being told. All these, when the audience sees, there is some food for thought. And whenever you have food for thought, there is some change in your psyche, there is change in your behavior, there is change in the way you think. So that's what change is. And like in our own humble way, in our own small way, each film is a change making instrument which can maybe change the society at large and change the individual. So that's the change making process. But I never, take that quote that I'm a change maker or something like that. It's an automatic, free flowing process. If change happens, I'll be very happy. It's that way.
So, it's a continuous process through your walk. You are
Correct.
getting
Correct.
changed society, you are getting changed environment, you are getting changed human being, everything. So, it's a composite thing.
Very true. Very true.
Right. So, what kind of documentaries are being produced by your team? What are the areas which are generally dominating for cinema for cause?
Nothing dominates us. To be honest with you, it all depends on what strikes the chord on the left side of my body. That is the heart. So once the heart responds, then I analyze it with my brain that, whether it's a good filmmaking opportunity or not. Obviously, what really we have to assess is whether it is film worthy. That means whether the audiovisual story can be told. Suppose I talk about someone and it's a very successful story, but they don't have any audiovisual element. Maybe the person is no more there. We are talking after the death of someone and we don't have enough inputs to build up a story, in that case, we don't really proceed. But wherever there is enough element of audiovisual content making, in that case, we develop. So we have a variety of topics which we are dealing in. But I'll tell you about my journey, how it started. The first film which I made under the independent film genre or cinema for a cause was a film on mental illness. It was on the disease of schizophrenia. One of my friends, Kaberi, she's a very good short story writer. She had written a story which was in Bengali. So we took that. I changed the name. I changed the name from the Bengali name to Voices, Murmurs of the Mind, where a middle-aged lady talks to an invisible lover on the terrace. She goes to the terrace and they have a talk. We cannot see the lover, but she goes on, like uttering dialogues. So everyone thinks that she's gone mad, but later on it's diagnosed that she's suffering from schizophrenia. So this film had a very twist at the end, and it had a beautiful flow, and we are talking about midlife crisis also with the schizophrenic syndrome. So Voices, Murmurs of the Mind was the beginning. The next film we like spoke about a forgotten star, a forgotten star who was the queen of Park Street, who was what Helen was to Bollywood, she was to Tollywood, Miss Shefali. Now Miss Shefali
Yes.
had lots written on her, but she never had a film on her life. So one of my friends again here, Arindam Ghosh, Arindam had done adequate research on Miss Shefali's life. So he came and told me, Abhishek da, can we do something on her? So I immediately jumped at the idea. So I and Arindam went and met Miss Shefali, and we told her that আমরা আপনার সম্বন্ধে একটা ছবি করতে চাই. So she readily agreed. Obviously, she had some conditions, and then she spoke to the camera and candidly. I told her that you speak, like whatever comes to your mind. So she said, yeah, I will really tell my story, how I was ostracized. আমাকে অচ্যুত কন্যা বলতো, আমাকে সবাই অভিশপ্ত নারী বলতো. So she shared her heart out to the camera. So that was a film called Little Dancer, which was, like ultimately dancing like a queen, Little Flower dancing like a queen. So that film also got very rave reviews. So that's how the Cinema for a Cause journey started. And after that, we have handled numerous subjects. We have handled health. Mental health is obviously the focus. Apart from that, environment, history, heritage. We are handling individual inspiring stories, unsung heroes. We do a lot of films on travel, a lot of films on like travel, which has again history as a background, the geographical different locational.
I will
uh,
interact, Abhishek. Here we will come to travel films. But before that, you
okay.
were referring to schizophrenia, and it reminds me one thing that you did a film on Partho De.
Yeah, Patho De, the 3 Robinson Street case, who was also referred as the skeleton man. Patho, I volunteer with an NGO called Turning Point, which is headed by a leading psychologist, Ishita Shannal. Every year we do a very mega event on mental health, which is called Open the Door. Now, in Open the Door, one year, that was I think in 2017, I met Patho. Previously, obviously, we had heard a lot of sensational write-ups about him, what the media, made out of him. But when I met Patho, I saw that he's a very sophisticated, refined, silent kind of a man, and we immediately struck a chord. And Patho was working there in Turning Point. He was also a volunteer working there. And Patho was the computer teacher. He was, teaching computer to the ones who were suffering from mental illness. So Patho, I, and the entire team of Open the Door had to work shoulder and shoulder for organizing the entire event. And I saw how effective, efficient Patho was. He was also very, like not only sophisticated, educated, enlightened. So I thought, how could the media make a monster out of a normal man? So I was, talking to Ishitadi whether, we can make a small film which really tells the real story, which was untold. So Patho De, the untold story, unfortunately happened after his death. Because when we had approached Patho initially, Patho said that if there is any film made on my life, that will be made by Amir Khan. Amir was doing that that special program on television which became very, very popular.
Yes.
So he was a big, yeah, he was a very big fan of Amir, and he said, "I'll, pass on my story to Amir Khan, and I would like him to do it." That was obviously very, jestfully he said. Later on, after Patho died, Patho had written a diary which Ishitadi had got, because Ishitadi was the psychologist to him, and Dr. Shobhusha Chimitra was the psychiatrist looking after Patho. So then we all decided that this story must be said, told and shared to other people at large. And we also spoke to Father Rodney Bonio. Rodney was the godfather to Patho, who was trying to get Patho back into the mainstream. So, with the entire team on the same platform, this all happened when we were doing a memorial for Patho at the GKS Club. We thought that now we must make a film on Patho, and that's how Patho De, the Untold Story happened.
Right, right. So all your films are based on this kind of inputs only. I think when you go for morning walk, Ravinder Sarovar, I think that also prompted you or triggered you something.
Every day in the morning, I go for a morning walk to the beautiful lungs of South Kolkata, which is the Robindra Sarovar. And I meet so many people who are mad about the Sarovar. Their, mornings start with the Sarovar, evenings end with the Sarovar. So my evenings never ended with Sarovar because I didn't have time to go for an evening walk. But the mornings did begin with Sarovar. So over 2 years, I interviewed people. I caught different seasons happening. I filmed because Rabindra Sarovar does not allow proper filming. So I took a small camera and went on filming. And after 2 years of filming and interviewing people, we finally brought out a film called Sarovar, which again was launched at the Birla Industrial and Technological Museum. BITM was a collaborator in the launching of the film because it was on environment, and it was also very well received, and all the morning walkers came and they saw the film and got inspired. Now, Sarovar also has a birding community, like the people who do a lot of bird watching, bird sighting, they do a lot of bird photography. So in Sarovar, the film which I made previously, I had a small chapter on the birding community, but right now I'm making a web series called Their Lives Our Lake, where we are talking about the nature activists, the environmentalists, the bird photographers and bird watchers. And it's a web series of 15 episodes where we have interviewed such people who are protecting, conserving, and preserving the Sarovar. And it's very rich biodiversity.
Obviously, you are doing such a marvelous and exemplary walk, but
Thank you.
all funded by your own earning, or you receive any grants for making all these films?
No, we don't receive any grants. We don't apply for grants also, because then the independence, as I said, the freedom of working will be robbed. But in Sarovar, there was some crowdfunding. Sarovar had some, like I had one corporate who had given some money. Then there were some of the morning walkers who had given small bits. But the rest of the films, 90%, 95%, I have funded myself. What I do is whatever I earn from my assignments, I keep a percentage for my social responsibility. Though I'm not a corporate, I'm a very small organization, very small creative outfit, but I have my social conscience very active, as I said. So
Right.
my earnings, if I earn 100 rupees, maybe 20 rupees is kept aside for all my cinema for a cause activities. So all these films, events, web series, whatever I have done is from those earnings. And I have an
Right.
advantage, obviously. I have a lot of students who are eager to work with me, a lot of other collaborators who come. So that's how the magic happens.
Fantastic. Uh, Obviously, you are doing such kind of walks, and hope you have been recognized also in this independent filmmaking.
See, I have participated in many festivals, and like the films have got very rave reviews. We won quite a few festivals, so there we get got some cash rewards. We were also recognized by the Public Relations Society of India, Cinema for a Cause. We got a special recognition there. So many corporates, many bodies have recognized. Many awards also has come from different festivals. So those are the recognitions which obviously have inspired us to go on, motivated us. and lot of certificates from international festivals, national festivals, regional festivals also have happened.
Right. So you are also a resident of Kolkata, Calcutta,
Yeah.
and there are a lot of heritage places in our city. So, did you take any initiative or did you take any assignment on preserving the heritage of Kolkata? Heritage buildings,
Yeah,
heritage road.
correct. Right now, I am doing a series on Kolkata's different heritage places, landmarks. I just shot the St. Paul's Cathedral. I shot the Kolkata Maidan. I shot the cemeteries which are there in Kolkata, the Park Street Cemetery, the Bhavanipur Cemetery. I shot the Mother House. So things like that. Apart from that, I did a triple trilingual series on Shonagachi, the red light area. So different, very interesting stories of Kolkata. They are also being archived. I obviously can't do it physically, but I can do it intellectually. So I am archiving small, mini documentaries on Kolkata's different festivals, Kolkata's different landmarks, the heritage sites, the places to be in, the places to see in small films, which are all on the virtual platform. That's how we are doing the preservation of Kolkata's heritage.
Right. You have mentioned so many areas about your work, but I think we have not discussed any areas where kids are involved and or the elderly people are involved. Did you take any such initiatives in your filmmaking?
Yeah, correct. Kids are involved in most of the mental illness or mental health films where what we are making, parenting and growing up is very much involved. I made a film called Tomorrow Speaks, which was shot totally in Thailand because I had gone on vacation with a big group of 30 people, and there were at least five, six growing up kids, teenagers. And teenage is some and kind of an age which is very vulnerable. And teenagers are at the threshold of their career. If they are not properly guided, they might go astray. So we had the teenagers going with us and the parents also going with us. So tomorrow speaks is what, the tomorrow of today, that is the kids, the Gen Next, they speak. So what we did is, we went to two different islands. In one island, we interviewed the children about their dreams. And in another island, we interviewed the parents about what they think about the children. That means, like what are their aspirations about the children. And then we had a group of experts of Kolkata, psychiatrists, psychologists, parenting counselors. They analyzed those dreams about how the children are being reared up and how the parents are parenting. So it was a wonderful kind of a program or a film which gives you a take on how tomorrow is responding. Now, about elderly age or geriatric films, I have made one film called Bhoirobir Bhore about a single woman, like who's kind of sacrificed her life for her two sons. She's a widow. She stays in a place called Aryadoho, which is very near to Dokkineshwar. So she's an amazing singer. Every day in the morning, she goes out for her morning walk and she sings different bhajans, ragas at all the different Aryadaho locations. And she starts her day, begins her day like that. She's a 74-year-old lady. So that was one film where we talk about reinventing your life after you are 60 or you become a senior citizen, and never lose hope. You can have a hobby which you can culture and obviously give back that positive vibration of your life. Right now I've just finished a film on another 73-year-old who's a famed, he's called the Rose Man of India. On his small terrace, he's cultivated over 250 exotic species of roses. And he's a floriculturist. He travels all over the world at his 73-year-old age. And he's also associated with the Agri Horticultural Society of India, Kolkata. So I was making the 200 years film for them. At that, kind of a situation, I got introduced to Shekhar Dotto, who's the Rose Man. And when I met him, I thought that I must make a film on his life. And again, the 73-year-old man became my hero in my film Rosa, My Love, which is just about to be released on the virtual platform. So, old people also feature in my films, very much so.
So wonderful initiative, really, Abhishek. And I have been observing you. I have been seeing your work since long, and you have diverse portfolio. And see, today's area is not for discussion of your business portfolios. That is why I'm not going. But you are taking a tremendous amount of time from your busy schedule to think about cinema for a cause, to think about so many contents. uh, how do you get all these things? Through your own contacts, through social media, through newspaper, or through some other means? Obviously, I'm just getting very much. You are also laughing because how do you get so much stories? Roseman. Acha, this is one question you must
Sure.
must feel comfortable to answer me.
It's about life. Every moment in life, I'm a keen observer. And now, people know that Abhishek, makes such films. So lot of people come with different stories. But previously, I used to observe interesting people, interesting subjects, inspiring people. So, I keep my eyes and ears open and my heart open. That's most important, and my mind open. So, as I said, once I watch, once I observe, once I hear something which is interesting, my heart responds, the mind says yes, then a film happens. So, that's how it happens, and obviously, social media has helped, and also my social circuit, because I have a wide networking circuit also. People from different clubs, people from different schools. In many cases, many clients, it was a byproduct of another film. Like I went for a film shooting in Orissa for Zoological Survey of India. I was making a film on the coastal corridors of Orissa, the faunal reserves there. So while I was making that film, we had gone to a place called Mangalajodi, which is a birder's paradise. So while we were shooting that, we had one half day when we were free, and we shot a film called Our Winged Friends, which is also on ornithology, or the ornithological paradise which Mangalajodi is. So, from a main film can come a byproduct film. Like Roseman happened from the AHSI 200 years. So, things like this happen. So I just, believe in uh, observing and making the best of the opportunities which come onto my hand.
Right. You are always carrying the gun. See, your filmmaking is your DNA because you referred about Thailand trip, and I was
Mhm,
just listening that you keep track of everything and you make the things. From there,
mhm.
you started thinking about Gen Next. What are the problems the kids or adolescent period people are facing, and you made a film. So that way, your right now you told about your observation power, or you keep yourself in the observation mode always to find out the things, and when it gives you a trigger and you start filming, right?
Correct, correct, very true. Like while
Right.
I travel, always my travel filming gear travels. And here I must mention my wife, because my wife is a kind of a thought powerhouse. She has traveled all over the world, and she's more exhaustively traveled than I am. And she's a history student. She's a history graduate, so she has a lot of historical knowledge about each country, each location we travel to. So whenever we travel, like before that, when we plan the travel, we also think that, as I said, the film worthiness of that location. Like whether we can kind of finally make some useful content out of it, apart from the touristy angle. One part is obviously the tourist angle, the other part is the historical angle, and the other part is the ones who are traveling with us, whether we can churn out something out of that. Now, what I would like to just suggest here, or just like to tell you, I have specially made two films on, again, super senior citizens, who are all college mates from Presidency College. This is my father-in-law's group. They are all within the age group of 70 to 80. We had taken them on two trips, one to Murshidabad and one to Purulia. So out of whatever we captured there, two films came out. The Murshidabad film was called Hazad Duari Hazir Ho, where all these geriatric people who are all in their 70s and 80s, how these friends after the presidency college days have got back. The camaraderie is again relived, and they forget their age and they enjoy. And similarly, the same group going to Purulia, it's called Purulia Unravels, and there we made a web series on the different locations they visited in Purulia, and the journey and the ecstasy which they felt even at their kind of old age. So these opportunities we always avail of, and the final product is a film or a web series.
Right. We have been discussing so many areas, but I think sports and climate change are very important areas. And I would like to know whether you had any work on the sports side.
We are now doing a takes and talks, like which is the talk show series. There we have already delved into the sports arena. Before that, I had made some assignments. Like assignments I have done a lot where sports people were involved. Like we had done the Yono campaign for State Bank of India, where Shopna was involved. And then, like right now, out of the Takes and Talks series, we have specially interviewed Tehrina Nasreen, who has, crossed the English Channel. We also did Narayan Thakur, who's the Asian gold medal winner. He's on the Para Asian Games. So, in the
Right,
Takes and Talks series, we are concentrating on sports personalities also.
right. What about climate change? Sam, you are referring
Climate,
about travel.
correct.
So I think you have not left the areas where mountains or places are there, and anything you did on climate change.
Climate change, we have done Nature's Tandav, a film just after Amphan. It was a film which, again was on crowd contributions, not by money, but intellectually.
What was the location?
No, location was Kolkata and also the Shagor areas, also different parts of West Bengal and Orissa, whichever
Hmm.
areas had, kind of faced Amphan, people from there, they sent in mobile footage. They sent in their photographs. And out of that, we developed a film called Nature's Tandav on Amphan. So that was very much on climate change, very much so. And even Sarovar, the film which I made on Sarovar, has a big chapter on how the climate change has brought around total change in the Sarovar biodiversity. So that part was specially dealt with by environmentalists who had given their deliberations in the film.
Right. I was trying to come to this point. You are doing so many films, independent filmmaker, and you are continuing your exercise. How do you measure the impact on your films? How does it impact?
Very true. Like whenever we show the films, we take the feedback from people. So that's an impact. Apart from that, our YouTube channel gets comments every day. The Miss Shefali film, I've made another film on Lolita Chatterjee, who's also a forgotten star. She expired 2 years back. So all these films, I've made a film on Harappa Mohenjo-daro called The Lost Civilization. So films like this, which are watched and they have nearly 40,000, 50,000 views, and I have people commenting on all these films every day, and I respond back to them. The Instagram also in the IGTV, we have lots of comments. Whenever we give on Facebook, WhatsApp, people immediately respond back, and they give me a feedback. Not only that, they also give me other ideas on which films can be developed. So this is what is impact. We can understand the impact from the feedback. See, filmmaking is a communication, and a communication only becomes complete when you had a feedback, and the feedback is the impact of the communication. So that is how I assess the feedback, and to some extent it brings about behavioral change also. Whenever we have made a film on the Sarovar, we spoke a lot on plastic and why plastic should not be littered everywhere. After that, there were different boats which came up in Sarovar, and people have, become more conscious about their plastic littering. People have become more conscious about kind of reaping different trees, tree plantation. People have become more conscious and sensitive about the birds of Sarovar, the different, other animals of Sarovar, the insects, the other, like there are different animals there. So they have become more conscious. So this is all which is impact, which is visible. So once you make a content, you can measure the impact from behavioral change of the target audience also.
We will take a short break of 25 seconds and we will once again
Yes.
come back with Abhishek Ganguly.
Great, sure. Happy to respond after the break.
Namaskar, Showmujit welcomes you to Face Showmujit. If you like our show, please visit Face Showmujit, like it and share it. Also, subscribe our YouTube channel iCommunications. Press the bell icon to get instant notifications.
Uh, which components are the most important things of independent filmmaking? Photography, content, cast, or location?
See, here I would give number one position to the content, because the content will finally direct you to photography, cast, and location. So, content is the king in any kind of independent filmmaking. And by content, I mean the idea, the storyboard, the scripting. Because as they say, film is made twice, once on the writing table and once on the editing table. So, the content takes birth at the ideation stage. And the idea is the driving force which will bring in the photography part, how you film it. It will bring in your location, where you film it, and it will also bring in the cast with whom you are filming. See, the other parts are obviously they are also equally important, but content, is on the top of the triangle. Now, just after that, location, cast, they also are there. And photography adds the dimension of the director or the visualization of the director, how he has visualized, and finally he wants to show to the target audience. So the other three work in sync, but the content is on the top. That's what I at least feel as an independent filmmaker.
Right. Excellent answer. And see, you have been referring to web series. Do you think that web series is more economical or more beneficial for the independent filmmakers?
What I was, like my learning from making documentaries was initially Cinema for a Cause was making documentaries which were 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes. But when I was
Hmm.
virtually hosting them, when I was virtually sharing them, I had to understand the virtual psyche of the viewer also. And I saw that YouTube or Facebook is mainly for the younger generation. That means the generation within 20 to 30 or 35 at the most. And these people don't have that much time or that much patience or even the retention capacity. So we have to make something which is very short. We cannot really exceed 5 to 7 minutes. Even 5 minutes, 7 minutes is long or lengthy. So then I rethought and I thought that I will not waste the subject, I will distribute the subject. And then I thought maybe a subject where if I have to show respect to the subject, if I have to be just to the subject, it requires 30 minutes. What I'll do is I will divide it into 6 episodes of 5 minutes each. Maybe the composite will make a documentary film and the divided ones will become a web series. And the web series, the advantage was we can also have open mic system where your audience can participate. In many of my web series, I have had audience participating. They have shot themselves on the mobile on different aspects, on different thoughts, especially on COVID. The different fears of COVID, the situations of COVID. People have spoken to the camera and they have responded, and that we have edited and we have formed different web series, and they have been immensely popular. So short, crisp, precise, and participative. That's the mantra of web series. And that's how, the web series have happened.
Right. Uh, see, you are a very experienced filmmaker, over 2 decades of experience. And what is your suggestions or advice to the independent filmmakers who want to make this as a career or as a passion?
Now, this is again a dilemma here, whether a career or a passion. For me, I am lucky because, I am a professional filmmaker, I'm professional in the creative field, so I could pursue
Every
my passion.
not be a smooth question. There should be some bumpy question. And you are
I know.
experienced, 2 decades of experience. So you need
Correct.
to handle this question.
Yeah, this is the bouncer which you have given me, but I will handle it. See, follow your passion, but professionally. See, everyone cannot have the advantages which I have. I had the advantages of a smooth flow of assignments. I had the advantage of my experience of so many years. I had the advantage of having the basic equipment to film. That's also very important. If I would have had to hire equipment, if I would have hired to hire people to do it, then Cinema for a Cause wouldn't have, continued. I have the advantage of having a very inspired, motivated team who just want to be with me to learn the do's and don'ts of filmmaking. So, passion and profession, they are, not always going together. But if your passion can become the profession, which in my case happened, that's the best, finally, that's the best which can happen to any creative person. So, like professionally, you will have to have your assignments well in place. And passionately, if you have another platform where you can make or give fruition to your independent dreams, that's the best combination which can happen.
Right. It seems that you got lot of encouragement from your profession and also from your passion. That is why you are continuing with this journey. Am I right,
Very
Abhishek?
true. Very true. Even my clients,
Right.
they tell me that what's coming under Cinema for a Cause next. So they are also keen followers of the work which I'm doing. I
Right.
work with a lot of schools, so all the school heads, the school leadership, the school teachers, they all ring me up, they WhatsApp, sir, next ki hocche. So it's like that.
So people are keeping track of your walks. That's good.
Very
It's
much,
a
very,
continuous.
very much.
And one obvious things you have been referring, a lot of people are getting motivated through your work. They are joining your team. How do you nurture the talents? Suppose
Yeah, see,
one
correct,
talent is not able to get exposure. How do you give platform to them through your cinema
yeah,
for a call?
correct. Like filmmaking cannot be done individually. There are some people who are creatively involved, some people who are technically involved. So the technical involvement, the camera people, the light people, the sound people, the editing people, I give them different assignments of Cinema for a Cause, and they can obviously harness their or hone their skills. For creative people, people like actors, people like music directors, singers, lyricists, script writers, audio voiceover artists, they all get platform in our different productions. Now, we have a screening committee, we have some core members in Cinema for a Cause team who see and assess their talents. And whenever we do a film, we do the storyboard, we see, from our data bank who all fit into those roles. We do an auditioning, and from them we take the best. So it's not that we can give chance to everyone, but positively we develop our data bank. Not only that, as I have been in the industry for 20 and 20 plus years, many of my filmmaking friends are professional filmmakers too. So we refer to those, like who want any kind of voiceover artist or an actor. They also refer to me, do you have someone of this kind of feature or this kind of personality? Immediately from the data bank, we refer to them. So that way, when they do something free for Cinema for a Cause, doors open up for even paid opportunities also for them.
So it's really good to know all these things. And Calcutta is always a cultural capital. And do
Very
you think you are in Kolkata and that is why you are so energetic, so dynamic, and so performing?
I am not only in Kolkata, I travel everywhere. Yeah, I'm stationed from Kolkata. I'm rooted here. Kolkata people still assess opportunities with their heart, not by their brain. So obviously, if you are creative at heart, you will collaborate. That's the spirit, that's the kind of mindset people have. But in the other cities, unfortunately, you will hardly have mindsets of people who will collaborate out of their heart. So that way, Cinema for a Cause's vision, if they don't identify, then we cannot have collaborations from outside. But this was my viewpoint about maybe before COVID. During COVID, you will not believe it, I have had collaborations from all over the world. All over the world, people have been interacting with me, people have been collaborating, people have been, we have made films with foreign filmmakers also. In our talk shows, in our web series, people have, sent in their videos. They have come from all over the world. So now, the mindset is so slowly changing. It's not only Kolkata, but Kolkata and beyond.
Exactly. So we will go totally beyond the boundaries of this show. I will ask you a very few questions. Tea or coffee? Which one is favorite?
Coffee.
Coffee, coffee. Okay. Cycle or two-wheeler?
Walking. Anyway, cycle otherwise.
Okay. That is why I know that you are passionate about walking. And
Walking, yeah.
with this box camera or SLR camera, which one is your favorite?
I never used box camera, to be honest with you. Now, to obviously SLR.
SLR, because there are large format cameras, the earlier ones, the
Ha,
Agfa,
ha, I know,
and
I
these
know, I know. But at that time, I was in front of the camera. I never used them. That's what I was saying.
sea or mountain,
Mountain.
mountain, and blue or red.
I like both, but blue.
No. There is no connection with political. You can safely tell it.
I understand. Truly,
No.
I'm totally that way. I have no political color. Very
Okay,
neutral.
very good. But you cannot be colorless also, Abhishek.
I believe in people. I believe in their colors. I believe in the color of nature. So, lot of color,
People,
but no political
yeah,
color. No
okay.
political color.
Everyone believes in people only, the political persons, the saints, and other people, all great people. And you fall in that category. That is why you believe in people. And,
And nature, and nature, and nature,
okay.
and nature,
Um,
nature.
yes, yes, yes. And see, you are a nature lover.
Very much so. Very much so.
Very much. So, how do you enjoy your life? Give us two, three tips so that our audience of the show can do the same thing and they can enjoy their life and they can do a lot of changes and they can make people happy.
Correct. Few tips are very, very important. One is introspection. You keep on introspecting and kind of innovating your own life by, like different kinds of uh, incidents, different kinds of steps, which can make your life more interesting. So, self introspection is one mantra, very, very important. Second is passion. You have to cultivate some way your passion. I have obviously made passion and profession both, it's a combo of passion and profession. But if you are a professional who's like a doctor, you must cultivate another passion which will give you enough time to de-stress and heal. That's important. And what I was just telling you for the previous question, connect with people, communicate, share your stories, listen to their stories, and enrich your life. So these three, I think, are very important. One is passion, one is connecting with people, and the other one is obviously, as I told you, the first one. These three positively you have to keep. If you really have to have and enjoy your life and live life to the fullest.
Right. And I have two questions. One is positive question, another is negative question. The positive question, which moment you term as the most successful moment for your organization, Cinema for a Cause? And another negative question, which was the most depressing moment for your organization, Cinema for a Cause?
See, I cannot really particularly tell you any particular moment because every moment we think of an idea, I think that's success. So for me, this has come many times, successful moment. Now, again, failure, if you talk about that, whenever I dream about an idea, whenever an idea is just going to be born out of the womb of cinema for a cause, and then we cannot give birth to it. Many a times, like we have approached a person. I'll tell you, I made two films on one was on Miss Shephali, and then one was on Lolita Chatterjee. So, Hello Heritage, Reshmi Chatterjee, she approached me and she said, let's do another film on another lady actor. And finally, we will be doing a program where we will be felicitating all these three ladies. Tinjon Mohiyoshi Nari, something like that. So we thought of Shumita Shannal. Shumita Shannal was a heroine of yesteryears, but unfortunately, she lost from the public gaze. She used to live in a very small flat of Lake Gardens. So we approached her. She was very eager to do it, but unfortunately, she expired. So that was a kind of a very sad moment for us, and we really couldn't do that Teen Mohishonyari project. So things like this do happen. You think of an idea, you work on it, but finally it doesn't really go for fruition. So those are the times when you feel depressed and you feel yourself in a low. But for me, successful moment is with every film being born, every initiative being born. That is one step forward in our journey of cinema for a cause.
Right. And obviously, before I thank you for coming to this show, my last question: how many such kind of films under the banner Cinema for a Cause you produced? Do you have any count?
No, we don't have any count. I'm sorry because every day something's happening. But I'll tell you, over 50 documentaries minimum, over 50 travel videos, and web series. I think over 10. Right now, Rosa My Love is coming out, and about 5, 6 web series are ready to be launched. I am doing another film, which is another very on a controversial subject, and that is also COVID centric. The plight of the sex workers of Shonagachi and the red light areas in COVID. What is their employment status? What is their livelihood crisis? It's a film called Mudra, and it has been written by another very upcoming writer, Tania Chakraborty. She's also collaborated, and we have three actors who have portrayed the life of three sex workers in a COVID situation. How are they combating the COVID crisis? And finally, going towards cyber sex, because now cyber sex is the new trend, because due to COVID, sexuality is a taboo now. You can't be physically close to a person. So the sex workers can't have regular clients, or the clients, footfall has minimized to a great extent. So that's why cyber sex is what's happening and keeping their, livelihood on. So from conventional sex work to cyber sex, how this transition of livelihood has happened. This is the main mission behind Mudra, which is to be released.
Okay. And thank you very much, Ovishek and Ovishek
My
Ganguly,
pleasure.
the
My pleasure.
only one cinema for a cause maker in Kolkata under quote unquote cinema for a cause. There are multiple independent filmmakers, but we have only one quote unquote cinema for a cause filmmaker. And we enjoyed today's change making discussion session and hope our audience have also enjoyed the session and they got enough inspiration to have more such kind of walks in their societal life, what Ovishek referred a few minutes back. So with that, we sign off here. Good night to everybody. We wish you will watch our every Wednesday 7 p.m. show, Face to Face Show Mujit. Thank you, Ovishek, once again. Namaskar.
All the best.
Namaskar. Show Mujit welcomes you to Face Show Mujit. If you like our show, please visit Face Show Mujit, like it and share it. Also, subscribe our YouTube channel iCommunications. Press the bell icon to get instant notifications.